right, good morning everyone. We have Mike Kuna here from Kuna Law Firm PLLC to answer another Ask an Attorney question this week. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Jillian.
Thanks for joining us. It's always a pleasure. So this week's question is, Dear Mr. Mike, I have a criminal case in court and I believe I can have it dismissed if I can get all of the evidence from the police. I don't know how to file anything with the court system and I would like your help. Do you know what I need to file with the court to get the evidence, or could I file it, or could you file it for me? Please help me. I am worried as this is so unfair.
Well, let's again begin from a history class. Once upon a time, in this very land, people used to act very differently when it came to trial preparation. First, both prosecutors and defense attorneys used to bring evidence out of nowhere without prior warning and win trials through surprises. However, now we have a different set of rules to deal with. So first, what is discovery? Discovery is the process in which the prosecutor and the defense attorney obtain evidence from each other that regards to the case. However, the discovery process has certain rules that have to be applied. First, a prosecutor cannot hide from the defense attorney evidence that is both material to the case and can exonerate the defendant. There are three sorts of such evidence. First, evidence that's clearly exonerating the defendant. Second, evidence that can mitigate the sentence the defendant might get. For example, let's say there was an assault, but the assault was a felony. What if there's evidence mitigating the assault to an actual misdemeanor offense? And by that, we can lower the sentence. Also, the prosecutor has to share evidence that can impeach witnesses of the prosecution during trial. All these elements are part of something called the Brady Rule. Why? Because the Supreme Court of the United States made a decision in the Brady case that the prosecutor has to provide that evidence to the defense attorney in all criminal cases. Otherwise, it's a violation of the defendant's right for a fair trial, and as a result, also is a violation of the Due Process Clause. Also, we have to remember that most cases never go to trial. 99.999% of the cases end up on the plea negotiation level and end up with a plea offer. Therefore, discovery as a process is extremely important for plea negotiations. It levels the playing field. Why? Because then the defense attorney and the prosecutor know which evidence each person has, and therefore they're able to determine whether it's even worth going to trial or not. Because otherwise, we wouldn't know. If we don't know what the other party has, we don't know if it's actually worth for us to go to trial. What kind of evidence are we talking about? Witness statements, the most simple one. Video evidence, lately with body cams by law enforcement. Also, we have more complex evidence, such as forensic evidence and toxicology reports. However, we have to remember that both obtaining the evidence and reviewing the evidence is very different things. First, obtaining the evidence is quite simple. Usually, I file a Rule 16 discovery request even before the arraignment, and we share with the prosecutor discovery up until the final stages before the trial. However, reviewing the evidence requiring more experience, because at that point we need to know the strengths and weaknesses of the case. Such elements can either save our case or ruin our case, and therefore that requires experience and knowledge. I recommend you to call me directly and I'll be able to help you file the discovery request and review the evidence in your case.
All right, yes, Mike, you were always well-versed, whether it's history or law, but I know that you had experience as a prosecutor and a detective, so how does that work in this?
Yes, also true. Been a detective for 10 years and a prosecutor for 3. So now when I value the evidence, I clearly have experience on the other side as well.
So if you'd like to ask a legal question, you can go on our website at valleynewslive.com and click on the Ask an Attorney tab.